Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Boomy Reactions. And for those of you that are new, I am Boomy. Hello. And today, guys, I'm going to be reacting to the Big Push's Swan Song, mainly because it's just been so requested by so many of you. So there must be something very special about this song. So, yeah, I'm going to give that a listen today. What am I expecting from this song? Well, if it's to do with swans, maybe I'm thinking it's a love song because we quite often associate swans with love and loyalty. They made it for life. So, yeah, I'm thinking a love song. But then again, with it being entitled The Swan Song, does that have anything to do with that old fable, or is it just a saying or something? I can't remember exactly what it is. The saying that a swan sings beautifully just before they die. I think maybe that factored into Swan Lake, the final dance that the swan gives before they drown themselves. Um, so yeah, a little bit dark, but maybe that factors into it. I mean, maybe it's got some influences to do with Swan Lake. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I do always love when I'm completely wrong as well, by the way, and what I've said I think the song might be about. I love when it's completely wrong. So yeah, let's have a listen. Okay, where are
What
we?
do you see with the eyes in your head? Pitiful struggle, or are you content? Fear and anger so garishly close, resignation and ignorance tied up in bows. Here to a pauper, a sad wasn't cloud, a joke had a punchline, people all around. Rose tinted glasses and no one is saying a big waltzing blindfold, we are what we play.
Wow, wow. I was not expecting this. Um, I seem to say that phrase a lot with Ren songs and the Big Push. Um, that's quite a lot to process. Okay, first of all, they're performing in a church. It looks there's a big cross hanging on the wall there. Of course, it's a church. Um, the echo from the performance in this building is just extraordinary. It's just out of this world, isn't it, guys? We okay. This might sound like a daft question. We have three band members here now. This is the second time I've seen the Big Push, and there's only been the three of them. So where is our drummer Glenn? Why is this the second time I've not seen him? Like, did he vanish? Um, either way, um, those harmonies, they're definitely coming from Ren, aren't they? Who, do you know? I'm thinking, I'm thinking Ren in his youth may have been a choir boy, possibly. He's definitely got the voice for it. Like I'm thinking maybe he was a choir boy. This just makes me think it even more so. Oh, he's got such a beautiful voice, hasn't he? And but do you know what? I've noticed more so is that Goran is very much kind of our kind of main frontman, I would say here. I think this is yeah, I think this is definitely more of a main feature Goran today. Is that a bit weird to say? They're all the front men, but yeah, this just seems quite a little bit more heavily Goran today. I'm hearing more of Goran's vocals, which are lovely, and I'm really getting more medieval bard type vibes. I know we always get bard vibes from Ren because let's face it, he is just the modern bard. But this entire the feel of this song is very medieval. It gave me goosebumps when I first started listening to this, and oh yeah, it's just hauntingly beautiful, isn't it? I've not been paying an awful lot of attention to the lyrics because I've just been mesmerized about what I'm listening to and what I'm looking at here. Try and brainstorm some of these lyrics. What was I listening to? What was I listening to? I think I'm going to go back because I don't want to miss these.
Both king to a pauper, a sad wasn't cloud. A joke had a punchline, the people all around. Rose-tinted glasses and no one is saying. A big waltzing blindfold, we are what we play. We are what we play.
We are what we play. Is that to say we play the fool? Maybe. I think I missed off the first line again. Damn it. Something about resig- resignation and ignorance in bows. Okay, let's just jog my memory. The first, what was the line before it? Oh, were we blind to fear and anger? Something fear and anger. Is that to say, what do you see with your eyes in your head? Okay, 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 okay. So you've lived your life blind to fear and anger, but you've been almost blinded to resignation and ignorance because it's just been tarted up with bows. Okay. I'm hmm. My brain doesn't work this quickly in the evening. I'm getting the sense that this song is maybe about regretting how you've lived in life. Like maybe you've been blind to the suffering and anger and resentment from your fellow man, your people around you. And have you been just content to go about your life living that way? They mentioned in the next verse, rose tinted, like rose tinted spectacles, did they say, or glasses? Which is like unrealistic optimism, isn't it? So have you just been blind to the suffering all around you? How would that tie into swans? I'm going to have to listen more to make sense of these lyrics. Hang on.
We are what we play. Nothing is sane.
Nothing is sane.
What can he hear with his ears and his hands are silently weeping, his head in the sand, patiently lurking in water and wine. He'll drown by her tears, choke on his time.
Is this a reference? Maybe I am looking far, far too much into these lyrics. Is that a reference to Swan Lake? Swan Lake. Is that a reference to Swan Lake? He'll drown in her tears. I don't know about the reference of choking on wine, choking on his time. I don't. I have to think about the last bit. But is that a reference? So drowning in her tears. Um, Odette, the swan in Swan Lake, she tragically dies at the end after her prince is. For those of you who don't know Swan Lake, I'm sure you will do. He declares his love for what he believes to be Odette, the white swan. It's not. It's the wrong swan. It's not Odette. And in some versions, she dies of grief and she drowns. And I know there's other versions of this that have multiple different endings, but I think that's the traditional ending, that she drowns because from grief. Is that a reference there? Just it just seems a little bit too random. Maybe maybe I'm just overthinking it. Um, what do you hear with your hand to your ear, like you're trying really hard to hear? Um, her weeping. Did they say her weeping? And his head in the sand. So again, did you live your life completely blind and unaware to the suffering of your fellow man for whatever reason? That's what I'm taking from this song in a minute. I'm just let's go on.
Drowned by her tears, choke on his time.
To this time.
Forsaken and taken too soon for murdering old mother. We dance on the moon, deaf to the thunder that silently cracks. We're holding our breath until her collapse.
Okay, I'm so sorry to keep interrupting after every verse. There's just so many lyrics that are they're just like poetry, aren't they? So um, here we've got did what that line just say that we're killing old mother? And when I hear old mother, and I think immediately of Mother Earth. I think of that as the world Earth. And when they said we danced on the moon, but first we danced on the moon, is that to say that the way that we live our lives, it is it's not good. It's killing. It's taking from the earth. It's it's not respectful. It's your fellow man. You're not caring about it. But by dancing on the moon, is that the pursuit of advancement and technology? And while we're more interested in doing that first, maybe we're in the process, it's killing the earth. That's quite a striking visual. I like that. That's deep. I like that. Again, might be looking far too much into these tinfoil hat again. I think that was. I think I missed the end. Let's listen to that again.
Our breath until
Oh, that harmony.
collapse.
Until our collapse. Okay, that's jogged my memory. It was the mention of the silent thunder. So we haven't paid attention to the thunder, even though it's been, thunder. I think of thunder as like quite dramatic, and I suppose at times quite apocalyptic if you think about it in like a symbolic sense. Maybe we're ignoring the warning signs, and we're deaf. We're being deaf to it, even though we can see that it's happening, but we're choosing to turn a blind eye. Is anyone else interpreting these lyrics this way? I'm starting to feel a little bit crazy. I love the visuals. It's striking up though. Oh, those harmonies. Ren's got such a gorgeous voice, hasn't he? So we've got Ren on the higher harmonies, which is just stunning, and Romain is the deeper harmonies again. And between all three of them, it's just perfect.
Until her collapse.
What is this? Guys, help me. I don't think I've ever seen this instrument in my life. what? What is Ren playing? And it sounds amazing. It sounds beautiful, but what is he playing? What is this? It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like kind of a mix between somewhere between a very soft harmonica and an accordion. There's probably many of you that are musicians that are just able to say, "Oh yeah, it's this." Stupid girl. I've never seen that instrument before in my life, but he's rocking it, isn't he? Oh, I want to know what that is. Help me out, guys. Let me know in the comments.
What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Some few thousand years could soon come to rest. Do you feel the butcher, the bullet that bores with corkscrewing chaos and mighty roar? What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Some few thousand years could soon come to rest on the shoulders of man and his bag full of bombs, bell-tolling destruction, our final swan song, bell-tolling destruction, bell-tolling destruction, our final swan song, bell-tolling destruction, our final swan song.
Oh, I got sorry, I got a little bit emotional for a moment there. Um, that really that just comes together by the end of it, doesn't it? And it's just it's so dramatic and it's building to this climax at the end where you've got these three-part harmonies and with the stagnation of the harmonies as well, and it's almost like they're clashing. Um, is that how you would refer to those harmonies in this instance? I guess. Um, oh, I love the drama from that by the end. There is there's something about this song that is so hauntingly beautiful. I don't know whether it's the acoustics from the church, or maybe it is just the type of I don't know, the type of melody that it is that's quite not dark, but it's so heavy. Am I making sense to anybody? Um, it feels like a very heavy melody. Does anyone else kind of get that? It's almost a little bit like what would you call them? Like the sailor songs, sea shanties, like a sea shanty, but not. But it's got that sound to it. I'm not making much sense today. um, oh my gosh. So that last verse that's I'm struggling to remember the lyrics now. I'm very overwhelmed. It got a bit emotional, a little bit teary there. How do they do this? How do they have this effect on their audience? Maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just very very emotional. But this the effect that that they can the emotion that they can instill in you, like that's just talent to be able to communicate using music so effectively, and you can just instill a spectrum of emotions in people is just absolutely mind-boggling. I don't think I've heard a song yet from any of them. Ren, The Big Push, I don't think I've listened to a single song but I haven't been moved or laughed, if that was the intention of them. um, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm still getting very much vibes. So they mentioned the last phrase. This was their swan song, and the swan song is, I think, very much that is the final song it's not like the Swan's song, the song that the swan sings before it dies. So I think there's there's definitely themes of finality, running through this song. I don't know whether I've completely misunderstood the lyrics, but I'm understanding this. I don't think it's as straightforward as like maybe this isn't a love song, I don't think. I think this has more of a not political, but I think it's got a wider message. I think this is our behavior. Maybe it's a little bit kind of like Ren's money game type thing in the messages that go through the songs like that. But I am picking up very much on the themes of you're blind to the suffering of your fellow man. Not only that, but you're blind to what we are doing to the earth, to each other. And we're ultimately very destructive. You know, there was a line there when it described man with its bombs. I think I remember I heard that one. So yeah, I feel like it talks quite. The song starts off where it's quite localized and it's talking about not being aware of the suffering of your fellow man, and then it widens and it becomes the impact on the earth. I hope I'm not reaching. I'm hoping some other viewers got the same thing from the lyrics. Um, Otherwise, I'm struggling to make sense of quite a few of the lyrics. So that is how I'm interpreting them, which is very clever. So this is their final swan song. It's a bit of a plea. Please listen, care more about what's going on around you. Just can't go wrong with them, can you? I love their messages. I love their songs. I love their lyrics. I'm just a big fangirl at this point. Can I be a renegade now? Can I say I'm a renegade? I'll make a pledge. I'll do that. Um, Big fan. Guys, please go away and listen to some more of The Big Push. Listen to some more of Ren. Listen to Goran. Listen to some of Remain's music because I haven't listened to enough of their music as well, by the way. Stunning. Just masterpieces in themselves, lyrically. They're wordsmiths. There's no other word for it. They're bards. They're just pure souled musicians. And they're a delight to listen to every time. So thank you so much for that recommendation, guys. I think that's not one of their more popular songs. So it's always nice to get recommendations for maybe the less, the less popular songs. This song is definitely underrated if it is. But yeah, this was a pleasure to listen to, start to finish. And I wasn't too wrong, but I did think it was a love song. I don't think it's a love song. But thank you for listening to my reaction. Again, I've got my tinfoil hat on and I've come up with crazy answers to lyrics. You know me, this is what I do. We know by now. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.